Welcome back, lads, to another episode of this FIFA 23 Blackburn Rovers career mode and the start of season number 5. If you didn't see what happened in the end of season number 4, then go and watch it now because it's going to be spoiled for you. But this is how it finished. 6th round of the FA Cup. We were the winners of the Carabao Cup, so we won our first major trophy with Blackburn Rovers. That was huge, but we did fall off towards the end of the season, like massively. So I do think there's going to be a lot of work for the squad. I'm in the belief that because we won the Carabao Cup, we will be in Europe next season. It will only be the Conference League, but I mean, it'll be European football for Blackburn Rovers. So we've got to be excited for that at least. And I want to try and push on again in the league. If we can get maybe 6th in the league this season, it's going to be difficult. The budget that we get will be super important. Let's fast forward into that and see what we're going to get. But before we do that, if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button. Hit the like button for the start of a new season. Why the hell not? And let's see just how much money we're going to get. I'm pretty sure we're lucky to still be in a job. But financially, are the board going to back us? Yeah, that's not bad. 80 million for season number 5. First season in Europe. Considering the squad we've got, we need to sell quite a few players. It would not surprise me if by the end of this, we're going to have 100, 150 million to play with in this transfer window, which means huge transfers. Keep getting the suggestions in, boys. I already have a huge list, though, but you can keep getting your suggestions in. And hopefully this year we improve the squad depth and mainly up top, because we really fell flat towards the back end of the season when we didn't have any Callum Grant in the squad. And that leads us to what we're going to do with our strike options this season and who we're going to keep, who we're going to let go. It seems like you want us to give Balogun a second chance, so we will do that. And Callum Grant, of course, is the god. Callum Grant's staying. Now, Harold's come back. He's not awful at 75 rated, but so is Jens Dahl and so is Hagen. There's some contract stuff I'm going to have to go through here, but I mean, between the three, I don't know who we keep. In my mind, at 18, it's surely Jens Dahl. So Hagen would go back out on loan. I think Harold would go back out on loan. Let's get them tied down to decent contracts. I'm not going to pay them too much, but he would go back out on loan as well. Then that leaves Jens Dahl, Callum Grant, and Balogun right now. Whether that's going to be the three we have, I do not know, but that's what it leaves for this moment in time. Jens Dahl is still super promising. I think it is time, with just a year left on the contract, that we let Ivan Toney go. Because some people have said when we play two up top, why not just play Brennan Johnson there? He's more than capable to do it, and he suits my play style. So with that in mind, I think that will be the play. Now, I've got a lot of players here that I'm just going to have to go through and start moving them on or moving them out on loan. I've got so many good youth academy players. Like, it is ridiculous how many we've got. And I'm yet to really decide who's going to stay here, because Andreasen did really well last season, but Teddy Little looks very good too. Alfie Devine's time at the club is now done. Eskil Rudd is going to be loaned out. I've made the decision he's going to be loaned out. He needs to get better to fit in this team. Metro is just too good, and when Rayner can play there, so is he. We've got a couple of other cams too. I'm not sure Luke Richards or Hagen are going to be good enough. Hagen is 75, so I mean, he's not awful. Definitely loan out Luke Richards again. I'll decide on Hagen later down the line. Henderson's going to be let go. We've got Billy Gilmore. We've got Sharp, who's just going to be sold now at this point. And then left mid's actually a bit of a problem, because look how many left mids we've got. Rayner is now going to be changed though to play at cam. I still might use him at left mid from time to time, but he was just so good at cam when we used him there last season. Scored some super important goals towards the back end of the year. Might even improve in overall if we move in there. And Cade Cowell, people have said we should sell. He's got 3 weeks though before we can, but we'll add him to the list. So at the minute, it looks like Billy Bennett will be the starting left midfielder, but we have Bravo and Gregory coming back, who are both 79. So between the three of them, I think they'll fight it out. I also think we'll get a lot of money for Ladislav, and he was just getting a bit irritating towards the back end of the season. I know he's 83 overall, but I'm going to add him to the list and see just what we can get for him. This squad's too big, so the changes need to be made now. And then as per usual, just going to get all the young players out on loan. Hopefully they'll improve. We're going to need another left back and another backup goalkeeper, as Adrian has now left, but we will give Turner a new contract. And as for the transfer hub, we've got a ton of players on here, so we've got so many options now that we can go, we can take a look at, we can scout, and we can start planning how we're going to build this squad for season number 5, because I think we need some major improvements in certain positions for sure. Before we make any of those signings though, I want to kind of advance forward a little bit and just see what we can do. I don't know what we're going to do with our scouts this year either, but I want to see if we can move on a couple of players first, because the squad is just, it's so big at the minute with 42 players. And we definitely need to just get a few of these players out before we start looking at bringing players in. It didn't take too long for a transfer bid for Ivan Toney. It's Villarreal though. I feel like he should move to another English side. So We're going to reject it for a little bit and see if I can get an English side to come in for him. And then a big bid for Kai Gregory. But, I mean, there's no way he's going anywhere right now. At 79 rated, he's far too good. That's not enough money. I don't think he'd go to Venezia. More bids coming in, most of them loan bids. But the problem is one of the bids is for a player we definitely don't want to sell. We've got no left-backs, really, apart from Centellas. I don't want to let him go. There's no way on this planet that we make this move. But I'm hoping no major bids come in. No more major bids come in. Because we definitely have to consider it. We always do on this channel. And he's someone I just can't afford to lose. Hasn't taken long for the bids for Levi Colwell to come in. It's not a club we're willing to negotiate with, but we do already have one. It's not a good player swap either. We're going to reject this, but I'm firm in my mind someone big's going to come in for him in this window, and we most likely will lose him. Transfer offer for Sharp, which is good. We want to get rid of him. We're going to accept that deal. The big issue here is that we have a transfer offer for Felix Mecha. The bigger issue is it's Arsenal, who finished above us in the league and are going to be playing, I can't remember if it's Champions League or Europa League football, but this would be the big move for the young German who we signed on a free that he would want. We're going to have to go and negotiate this. I don't like the idea of this deal. It does mean well, I don't know what we're going to do at Cam. Eskil Rudd, I just think we should be loaning him out. Maybe we're going to have to keep him now if this is a situation. Reina will be the starter at Cam, but Mecha did score a lot of goals. We go 32 million. I'm going to try and get as much cash as possible, and there's a huge gap. Okay, so we're keeping Mecha for now. Don't feel like 32 million for someone who scored that amount of goals last season was a ridiculous fee. Cam that will be leaving, though, to Feyenoord by the looks of it, is Alfie Devan. Just never worked out. Never really got much out of him, and it's unfortunate. We will hopefully get to see the best of him in a save at some point, but it's not going to be this one. Something I should be checking out is the board objectives for this season, because they don't like us at the minute. And youth development, this will be easy. I think we'll do the youth development one very easily. And then brand exposure, 3 players from North America. That one is going to be much more difficult to choose who we're going to pick for the North American players. That is really frustrating that we got North America for brand exposure. Conference League, they want us to win it. I'd like to do that, but who knows who we draw. And then they want us to finish in Europa League and quarterfinal of the FA Cup. So all the other objectives are pretty achievable. I think if we do all the other objectives, minus the North American one, we'll be fine, because I just don't know if we're going to sign 3 players from North America. And it's season number 5. I don't know any decent North American players that maybe we could sign. So if you have any, suggest them. AZ now coming in for Ivan Toney, and we haven't had many bids for him, to be honest with you. He's not hotly wanted. It's probably because he's going to be such a big wage. Could I see him playing Dutch football? I mean, maybe we could at 30. I'm going to still try and hold out for an English club, but if this goes on for much longer, we will just sell him to the first bidder. We're being screwed over in this season. We're being massively screwed over. Huge transfer bid now for Brennan Johnson. Now, we usually at least let one big name go in a window, sometimes 2, and a team like Blackburn, who definitely overperformed last season, would be getting these kind of bids. And this is Liverpool. We're obviously looking for a salary replacement. Is Brennan Johnson that guy? Who knows? But we have to go in and negotiate this. They reckon we could get up to 82 million. This completely throws off the right side of midfield. It, like, genuinely throws off the right side of midfield. We're, of course, going to want the upper of 80 million, but this could be a deal that goes through. And I'm just going to go in there. I'm going to say 80 million. We're going to put our foot down and let's see what Jurgen says. We don't want to see the deal fall through. They're going to pay 80 million. Liverpool are going to pay 80 million. We're going to have had 1 season of Brennan Johnson and he's going to be leaving the club. This really changes the entire transfer window. It's just completely changed how we're going to have to approach it. We are so weak now on the right-hand side with Brennan Johnson leaving, and he was a potential striker option. So, massive move. I really don't want to see him go, but I think a move to Liverpool like that, how do you stand in a player's way? Well, this is just a super sad moment in the terms of this series. This is a massively sad moment, but we're going to have to face him this season. It's 80 million for Blackburn Rovers to recoup 80 million for a player we've only put a year's worth of development in. And I mean, he was good, but he wasn't unbelievable. We have to take that. We have to bite Liverpool's hands off. And there we go. Brennan Johnson is gone. If this is not an A on FIFA, I don't know what is. We milked them for every penny we could get for Brennan Johnson. And I'm expecting an A, and we get an A. And that just throws a massive spanner in the works, doesn't it? Because, I mean, now on the right-hand side, options-wise, we have Harding, we have Little, and we've got Andreasen. He's just tired at the minute. So it does look like Andreasen now is by far the starter. But the backup options, I mean, apart from Teddy Little, could we convert a Gregory or one of the left-sided youngsters to play on the right? Potentially. I mean, I guess it just depends where we want to pump the bulk of our funds this season. Now, I'm going to have some good news, though. I am going to go out and sign our left-back. Now, for me, it's between Luca Netz and Ian Matteson. Matteson has probably been requested most out of any player, so we're going to try and sign him. It looks like it could be about 40 million, but between him and Centellas, it's a beastly left side for us. I feel like this transfer deal, though, is definitely going to be overshadowed by the sale of Brennan Johnson. We're going to go 34 million. Oh, they want Billy Gilmore. I mean, that's just completely out of the question. So I think it will cost us the 40 million. But we're going to be cheeky and try 38 million. Why not? We have to pay 40. I'll happily pay it. But there we go. Get the deal done. 38 million. And we have our left backs now. And for the future as well. So I think Centellas is 28 and Matteson's only 24 at 81 rated. Try and just offer him important. I hope he doesn't want crucial, so then that he will be a bit happier to be rotated in that sense. We want a long contract with no release clause. Now, he's not actually paid that much at Salzburg, so coming to the Premier League, he'll get quite a big pay rise. 45 grand. We'll chuck a mil signing on. We've got so much money at the minute, but this will be signing number 1 done. And Matteson will be joining the club. It's been a long time coming, to be fair. We've looked at him several times, couldn't really afford him, but now we can. My God, is he short? Because we're not exactly tall. He is extremely short. That ends up being a huge improvement because Centellas is 82 and Matteson is 81. So between the two of them, left back now, locked down. We can rest easy with that. Finally, a transfer offer for Ivan Toney from an English club. We're going to accept this straight away. Hopefully, he can get a deal done with Brighton. We got one for Callum Grant. Absolutely not. We also have the position change for Giovanni. I'm still going to do it. He's still going to be a cam. He'll stick at 85, but I mean, I feel like he's going to be better suited for us there at cam. If we keep Mecha, him and Mecha at cam will be brilliant. Kind of feel comfortable in that position now. And the contract does get accepted with Ivan Toney. He was all right, wasn't it? He wasn't great, but he was okay. He did come around the second half of the season and perform much better without Callum Grant in the absence of him, but he still wasn't good enough. We tried him. Good experiment for his season. Just doesn't suit how we play. We're going to get an A for that deal as well. That's really good. I think we made profit on him. We're getting constant bids for Kai Gregory. This one's a little bit closer now. Newcastle. And we've yet to get to use Kai Gregory. So that's making me think we definitely keep him this year and maybe even use him on the right-hand side as well. He is 5-star weak foot, so he could easily play on the right-hand side. Now, he's not good at shooting, but he is absolutely rapid. Need to improve his physicals a little bit, but he has decent stamina, good dribbling. I think Kai Gregory might be swapped to the right-hand side and used this season with Andreasen. We're going to have to change his boots, though. Can I edit him here? We're going to have to change these boots. I just can't have him looking like this. He needs some better boots. I don't know what boots we're going to go for at this moment. I'm going to have a look through, but we're definitely changing them. I don't mind them being black. I don't mind these, actually. Okay, they're a little bit better. Let me know if you think there's any particular boots, but I think he looks better instantly. And we're going to get rid of this because Billy Bennett has that. And we're going to give him a bit of a Benzema look. Why not? We'll go for that. Another transfer offer coming in for Levi Colwill. It's Sevilla, so we're getting closer to the kind of side that we might have to consider. But for now, I still think we reject it. When it was Chelsea, I could definitely see a deal being having to be made, but Sevilla, I'm still 50-50 whether we have to even negotiate that. Transfer offer for Giovanni Reina from Barcelona, and the swap deal is Salah. Salah must have joined them in this summer because he was at Liverpool last season. And now they want Gio, and they want to give me Salah. We're not going to accept this. I don't really want to let Gio go. I won't let 2 offensive players go in one season. Not considering where we are as a squad, I don't think we can afford to do that. I would let a defender go as well as Brennan Johnson, but we won't let Gio go this window. But the fact that it's for Mohamed Salah, this is just insane. I cannot get a transfer deal for Alfie Devine done for love nor money. He just won't accept a contract anywhere. It's finally happened. Levi Colwill, Manchester United, 37 million. I want more, but we're going to negotiate because it's Manchester United. Let's be honest, lads. We all knew this was going to happen. I didn't expect the Brennan Johnson one to come, but I thought Levi would most likely be out the door this summer because we just couldn't hold on to him. Let's propose a new transfer fee. I would love 50 million, and I'm hoping Manchester United and Erik ten Hag need a defender that much that they'll pay 50 million for the 23-year-old. 38.2 and 5%. I mean, they're nowhere near. We might actually be keeping him here because they are nowhere near what we want. 48 million, maybe. may be the base that we'll accept for him. 48 million. Okay, they're going to meet it. Okay, I thought this was going to fall through. 48 million. Ten Hag wants his man. This is two huge sales in this transfer window. I can't believe it. Over 100 million between two players. It's 120 million in terms of money being brought in. We are fast approaching the Newcastle game, and we have only signed one player. Now, in terms of Levi Colwill replacements, there are a lot of options. We're going to scout some of them, not Sangan, but there's a lot of options here that we could potentially go for. And I think there's some very good ones. Kim Min Jae. We are very inexperienced at the back. And I think we could do with adding a little bit more experience when it comes to it. I'm going to go and scout a few of these players as well that we no longer have scout reports on. And the moment we've all been dreading is here. And it's happening just before the opening game of the season against Newcastle. And that is Levi Colwill going. We've always been a little bit short rotationally, but the fact that he has great stamina and Reggie Cannon does, it's not really hindered me too much. With more games to play this season, we're in big trouble. We're going to scramble now to try and bring in a centre-back because there is a young guy that I really want, but we still need the Levi Colwill replacement. Now, the young centre-back I want is Luke Mbete. I'm going to go with that. You guys might say it's Bete. Let me know in the comments, but this guy suits our play style. He is very quick. His sprint speed is fantastic. He's strong. He's good at jumping. He's a good header of the football. I think he will suit my style and will continue to improve. He's an Englishman at Inter, not getting game time. I think this is a perfect deal for us in terms of our rotation centre-back. And 9.1 million is not a big deal. Definitely not going in at 9.1. I think they said 7.1. We might be able to get him. So I'm going to offer 7.1. He's really not needed there. They want a 5% sell on. We're going to remove that. In real life, that would definitely be something that would happen. But we're going to go 7.4 and see if that'll get the deal over the line. And it will. They're going to say yes. That will be a very good rotation centre-back. Hopefully, he'll improve. I really just like his attributes. I think he suits me perfectly. It's not going to be a difficult deal to negotiate. He doesn't want that much. He's having a small pay rise and he's going to take rotation. So 2 defensive players in so far in what might end up being the craziest transfer window we're going to have. It doesn't stop just yet, does it? Because we've got 3 more transfer offers coming in here. One for Sarr from Lyon. Sarr's been very good for us. We're going to need him heavily this season. So we'll reject that. And then we've got one for Killian from Newcastle. I think we finished above Newcastle. In fact, I'm positive we did. We're going to reject that as well. Felix Mecha, we're semi-open to letting go, but not for that fee and not to Sassuolo. I think we'll keep him. But at least for now, unless we get another big bid from a bigger side in England or a foreign nation. There's still more players to sell. I mean, we've got 180 million. The transition of this squad this season is going to be huge. Do we have the Conference League group drawn yet? We don't. That's yet to be drawn, but I'm intrigued to see who we're going to be playing in that competition. At this minute, it's going to be a competition for the youngsters. Let's pick the squad to take on Newcastle United. And the starting 11 for the game against Newcastle United, we'll see for the first time Kai Gregory in a starting 11, playing in a Blackburn Rovers shirt, starting on the right-hand side. Wharton will be the centre-back next to Cannon. No choice in that for me. Sarr and Scott are central midfielders. Rayner in behind Grant. Bennett on the left. Really want to give him game time this season. And we're still going to see Centellas as the starter. This is actually a very strong Newcastle side. We could slip up here on opening day. Well, these kind of crisis situations where the club gets a little bit gutted can either make or break us. We'll fall down the table this season and be more in relegation zone, or these youngsters will step up. There's still a long way to go in this transfer window, and we might even have to spread this one over 3 episodes. That would be the first time I've ever had to do that in a series, but that might actually have to happen because I've got so much to do. There's plenty of games to play, and let's try and kick off this season with 3 points. Let's try and kick it off the right way. And Callum Grant being back up top just fills me with all the confidence. Be the first time as well that we see Gio as a just designed cam. And that's going to be huge for him this season. That's the position I think he probably wants to play. That's the position he's going to get. He's the highest rated player at the club. He's going nowhere. He's done and signed here for at least this season. Callum Grant nearly winning the football back early. So we can at least rest easy in that. Kai Gregory's first game, though, I'm intrigued to see how he gets on. There's other players here as well that could do with breakout years. When you think about it, Alex Scott has been in the distance, in the background of the centre mid position. for a few seasons now. This is a year where he could get a little bit more game time, and that would be huge for him. That is poor from Yorkiemann. When our back line is this week, we can't be doing that. I think Wharton might have done enough there to put off Joe. We need to keep Matt Turner fit as well, because we've got no backup. This is the weakest the squad might have been in seasons. Alex Scott now. There's that one to Gregory, and Gregory wants to whip it in early to Callum Grant, and what a save. That could be a great link-up. Well, Sarwin, that back from Longstaff. Billy Bennett, he'll be happy to go, and the pass again wasn't good. I'm instantly going to do his development plan for passing after this. I forgot to do it last season, and he's going to need it. Gregory now. He's got some pace, hasn't he? Let's use Gillian. That's good from Sangari. Scott will receive the ball back. This could be good play. Back into Kai Gregory. Finds Callum Grant. Oh, it's well blocked. Maybe should have been 1-0. Should have gone near post. Not been a good first half of football, but not been a bad one either, because we've not conceded. They did have one great chance, and we've started to cause a few problems as the game's gone on. Sharpness is always going to be hard at the start of the season. We have no idea at this current moment in time what our best starting 11 is. So, I mean, that's always going to make life quite difficult as well. We have space out wide now. Centellas. Oh, play that one inside to Gio. Gio needs to find the ball across. Couldn't. Callum Grant will get onto it in the end. He's so good at the football. He'll get that one out wide to Billy Bennett. Bennett now decent on the ball as well. Centellas will drive wide, but where is Callum Grant when you need him? He's not in the position that I need him to be in. Alex Scott loses out, and we need to be doing just a little bit more in these positions. Kai Gregory tries to pop that one in, and no space is being found at the minute, but that's great from Alex Scott. And Billy Bennett again. Billy Bennett now trying to put that one across. Kai Gregory over the bar. Is there still a big moment to be had in this game? That's got to be the question. And a draw is not a bad result against Newcastle, but I would love a win. Opening day. You always want to start the season off the right way. We're going to bring off Kai Gregory. And we're going to bring on Balogun on the right-hand side. You can play there. So let's see. It's quite offensive. It's an interesting formation. This squad right now is just really weird. I'll tell you someone who's had a very good day, and that is Sa. Metch's turn there is beautiful. And this, for the first time, might open stuff up. Centellas, please, Gio. Oh, Callum Grant's touch was horrendous. Need to be tight now. Oh, we need to be tighter. Cho, what a block from Wharton. He has been unreal. Felix Metcha has come on and been very good as well, actually. Going to play that one back into Metcha, and then Metcha into Rayner. It's just not going to work out, and I feel like we've been a bit poor going forward. The balls forward have been what the problem is. We haven't sent through Callum Grant once. Not the opening day we would have wanted, but not the worst result. We're going to take a point at Newcastle, and we need to start figuring some stuff out. We're all aware this squad is not going to be good enough in the Premiership. I think serious investment is going to be needed, but there were certain good flashes. That ball in from Gregory to Grant was brilliant, and maybe he could be an option on the right, but I'm not sure he's a starter at this moment in time. Sharpness is definitely hurting me too. How do we have next up in the league? That could be huge for us. It's Watford next, so that's much more of a winnable game. So it's the Forest game, so we can take up to the Arsenal match. If we can take some decent points, we should be all right. We were quite draw specialists back end of last season, though, and I don't want that to kind of slide into this year. Another decent transfer feats Freiburg this time. I don't really think, in terms of players leaving, we're going to do much more. I do think in terms of players coming in, we're going to have to make some moves, and we're going to have to make some big ones. But I really want to give you guys some time now to ponder this. So keep your eyes out for Borussia Dortmund. I've recorded quite a bit of that. That will continue to come. But I think this series is at a stage now where we need your guys' feedback. This is most possibly going to be the biggest rebuild stage that we have with Blackburn. We're in Europe this year. We need the cover. The youth players will do a job. I've got no doubt. Once the sharpness is up, they will do a job. But the Premier League is a very difficult league. And I think investment, especially in several positions, and now centre-back for sure. I don't know if we need to invest in the right and left-hand side just yet. We can figure that one out. But going into a European season, another Premier League season, with the wingers being an average age of between 19 and 20 is not going to help us. And I think that's definitely somewhere we need to improve, and maybe even in the centre of the park as well. And of course, the strike force. I mean, Callum Grant's been injured. Can he do it again this year? Can Balogun do anything? We don't know. These are all questions we need answers for, and we're not going to know until we get into the season and until we get into the next episode, where I think it will become very much a spending spree in the next episode. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much for watching. That's where we're going to leave this one. I hope you're all doing well, and I can't wait to read your feedback on what we should do for the rest of this transfer window. Take care, lads. I'll see you in the next one.